So we're into January now, and one of our players did win European Golden Boy of the past year. I bet you can't guess who it was though. Yeah, you guessed it. Brad Yeo won European Golden Boy. Hello and welcome back to the Lincoln Loco. Today we've got two games for you, but first of all, we'll just focus on Brad Yeo. He's still at the club as it stands. Man United haven't recalled him yet, which is very, very nice because I'd love to keep him at the club. But as you can see, in the year 2023, 38 appearances for the club, 16 goals and 24 assists, although a vast majority of those coming since August, basically. Now valued at 26 million, Man United still aren't letting me have him. And miraculously, still not had an England cap actually, which I think is very odd. But I'd love to sign him at some point, and I will make it my mission to one day sign him. If we want to be critical, his form has dropped off actually in the last three games. He's not played all that brilliantly in the last three games, but he's still on the verge of that Premier League record. He's equalled it. He's just now got to get more than 21 assists, and then he's got the new Premier League assist record. Today then, we have got two games for you, as previously mentioned. Middlesbrough at home in the Premier League, and then Burnley in the semi-finals of the Caraboa Cup, the League Cup. I'll show you what's happened since you were last here. It's been pretty decent, actually. Last time you were here, we beat Swansea 2-1 and Sunderland 4-1. Straight after that, we beat Southampton 2-1 in extra time, actually. We left it late. Brad Yeo, the man of the moment, getting the goal late on before Chummer came on. Did he come on as a substitute? He came on as a substitute, yeah, at some point to score the winning goal there, which was great. After that, we played Manchester United and held our own, getting a 1-1 draw there, which was pretty decent, to be fair. Manchester United, of course, the best team in the world, basically. They've won the past 5 out of the 6 Premier Leagues, and they've won 3 of the last 6 Champions Leagues as well, something like that. So they're a very good side, so a draw against them at home was very, very nice. We then played Chelsea and went 3-1 up before Jan Valery got sent off, and then they scored 5. So you can sort of see where things went wrong in that game. But we had a decent game, Chelsea proving too strong for us, but to score 4 goals against them I thought was pretty decent. Obviously though, that was quite a disappointing loss, so we bounced back with a 6-0 win over Brighton. A fantastic game. Lacasic, Hammer Time, Yeo and Anton Perrier getting themselves on the score sheet there in a really, really convincing display. Lacasic though was injured right into that game, and he's not come back from injury yet. He may be back for the Burnley game, but not today against Middlesbrough, I'm afraid. After that, we played Liverpool in a goalless draw. It was an alright game, I suppose. A draw was probably the right result. But again, Liverpool a decent side, so I'm very happy that we managed to keep a clean sheet and get a point from them. Then played Bristol Rovers in the FA Cup, a fairly routine win there. They went 1-0 up actually, but we had enough power to overcome them and win fairly comfortably, so that was quite nice. And then last time out, disappointingly lost 2-1 to Watford, who sit below us in the table. They scored in the 89th minute to win it, but we didn't play very well at all that game, really. Stats say it was even, but really Watford were the better side, so they probably deserved their win. Now, we've got some transfer news coming up. I've teased it on Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll know what's going to come if you've been eagle-eyed. But something amazing has happened. We've gone and signed him. Liam Coyle has come back. It is the return of the prodigal son, Liam Coyle. History. He's come for 3.3 million, which is incredible really when you think about it, because over summer we wanted to sign him, but Liverpool said no, he's going to play first team football this year. If you want him that desperately, you can pay us 40 million, they asked me for. 40 million, I said no, we're not going to pay that. He went on to make 1 cup appearance, and that was actually against us, where he gifted us a goal in the League Cup. So if he gifted that goal in the League Cup when we would have lost it otherwise, and then we go on to win the League Cup now, Liam Coyle, not just worth 3 million, but he could have get us Europa League football. Played a lot of games for like the 23s and things like that, but he wasn't keen on that. He wanted to leave the club. They transfer listed him for 3.3 million, and now he's back at his home club after he spent a good 4 years on loan for us, playing very, very well, and now he's here permanently on another 4.5-year deal. There are more transfer deals going on at the moment. Now, Crystal Palace want 20 million for this guy. He's a goalkeeper who's requested to leave, valued at 12 million. And we've been negotiating with them quite heavily, really. 4-star current ability, 4.5-star potential. He's much better than Reynolds that we've got in goal at the moment. So I really do want him to come into the side, but I'm not going to pay their asking price of 20.5 million. My most recent offer was 14 million. So I'm going to go down to 15 million and make that offer, see if they come back and accept that. But I don't think they're going to. We're also trying to buy a defender as well. Aziz, I can't pronounce his surname. I won't try and bother. Only valued at 6 million at the moment for Greencamp. But he's 22 years old. It's gone down a little bit actually. It's actually gone down a little bit, which changes my mind a bit. We just had a bit more updated scouting going on with him, just to try and make sure our scout reports are properly up to date. Before, he was 4-star current ability, 5-star potential, but that's now dropped down. And I was having a few doubts anyway, because he's susceptible to injuries and wouldn't fit into the social groups that easily. I'm starting to now think this guy probably isn't worth the money that we've been spending on him, so I'm going to cancel the deal actually. Currently, my latest offer was 19.75 million, which is a lot of money. But now I've seen that scout report, we are going to reject the offer for him, and he's not going to join the club. Should probably update you on the league table as well. We are currently sitting 11th after 20 games played on 25 points with a beautiful +9 goal difference. I'm really enjoying that. Right, that's enough rambling on then. Let's get on with the game. Reynolds starts himself in goal today with a back four of Masevic, Kobayashi, Williams and Jean Valery. Coyle obviously starting in the defensive midfield, but he needs to be a ball-winning midfielder, not a defensive midfielder. So we'll have him there. Halal and Perrier obviously starting up front, just slightly ahead of him. Yeo starts on the left, and Matondo makes a rare start on the right because Lacasic is still out injured for a little while, so he'll probably play the Burnley game, but not today. And then, of course, Hammer Time starting up front. We've given Chum a little bit of game time recently, but he's just not as good as Hammer Time. Right, so today's game should be a pretty decent game against Middlesbrough. They've not been in the best form in the team talk. It said they lost 3 of the last 5, so not in the best form. Hopefully we can pile on the misery today. There's actually been another transfer out now that I think about it. I forgot to even mention it because I didn't even think about it. But Obi Alore, you remember him. He was a key man for us in the Championship. Scored a hatful of goals for us in the Championship. And actually did fairly well last season when we played the 2-striker system. But over summer, he deteriorated to at least a League One quality player. And of course, we brought in really good players as well. So we thought he's not really up to standard. Went out to Swindon on loan. They've paid all his wages and they paid us £100,000 a week. A month. I wish it was a week. £100,000 a month. So we made £400,000 off his loan. And he's now just moved out to Greece to, I think it may be PAOK. As Middlesbrough go and score, unfortunately. But he's moved on to Greece for 5.5 million. So we've made a nice bit of money off him, to be fair. And for a player that's only League One quality, that is decent money to be made. Focusing more on today's game, though, we've just gone 1-0 down, obviously. That does put Middlesbrough into 4th incredibly, although they have played a lot more games than other teams around them. Liam Coyle makes a fantastic tackle on the edge of the area, and Perrier couldn't quite control it in the area, but we've still got a chance to come forward now with Halal. Halal through to Hammer Time. Hammer Time gets it to Matondo. Matondo to Halal, and Halal, Jesus Christ, what a finish that is. He's still called Halal, by the way, because I'm recording this before I've seen the votes on last episode if he's going to be called Halal or Jalapeno, purely because I think Jalapeno is hilarious. I thought I'd put it to a vote. Next episode, though, we'll definitely have the nickname for him and the results of that vote, Halal or Jalapeno. So if you've not voted yet, have a vote. Although by the time you're watching this, I've probably seen the vote and decided what it's going to be called. So vote if you want, but it probably won't count. First highlight of this second half then is very early on as Reynolds collects the ball and going to show his distribution now as he puts it towards Hammer Time, who wins the ball, plays it down to Perrier, and Halal makes a wonderful ball out to Yeo. Yeo into the middle, onto Hammer Time's head. Bish bash bosh, there you go. Yeo now the Premier League all-time goal scorer record. I mean, I've just butchered that completely. Yeo is now the top assist record holder in the Premier League, which is amazing, with 22 assists. And Hammer Time is actually, he was joint top goal scorer for a little while. I don't know if he's still now or he's now top goal scorer, but a couple games ago he was joint top goal scorer with 13. So, I mean, both Yeo and Hammer Time doing extraordinarily well this season. If we're talking stats, actually, Lacasic, I was looking at stats a few games ago. He has the highest shots on target percentage out of the entire Premier League. It was like 67%, which is crazy. Which really does mean he needs to finish his finishing. As that makes sense at all, did it? He needs to improve his finishing and he'll score more goals. I've said this time and time again about him. He misses a few decent chances. So if he just gets that finishing up, bit of shot power onto him, he'd be bagging goals, I'm sure, for fun next season. Right, 70 minutes gone. Let's make a few changes just to solidify things. Liam Coyle not played too well this game and on a yellow card, so we'll take him off and put Declan Rice on. Perrier's got a bit of a knock and down on condition, so we'll bring De Silva on. We may bring Garcia on in 5-10 minutes or so, but they're the two changes that we'll make right now. Well, I'm not going to lie to you here. I didn't think we'd get the win against Middlesbrough, especially considering how poorly we played against Watford last time out, but the boys have proved me, I say the boys have proved me wrong. There's still chances now for Middlesbrough to come forward, and yeah, they have done. Never speak too soon when you're thinking about victory. That's a fatal error, that is. Although there's a highlight straight from kickoff, which in FM 17 99% of the time guarantee the goal. FM18, it's a bit different. It doesn't usually mean a goal actually now anymore, but hopefully it is for us as Declan Rice on the ball plays to Halal into Hammer Time. Hammer Time feeds a ball through to Yeo. Yeo out to De Silva. De Silva from distance. What a fantastic save. Oh, it hit the post. Not quite a good save. I thought it was an amazing save, but hit the post. All right then, fair play. I did speak basically like we won the game, but by looks of things now, we're going to draw this game, and the full-time whistle's gone. Lincoln 2, Middlesbrough 2. That's not a bad result, to be fair. We were this team slightly on top, but considering where Middlesbrough are in the league, 2 points behind, well, now 1 point outside that Champions League place, I think a 2-2 draw is all right, actually. Injuries from that game. Masovic out for 5 to 8 days. That is, well, not good at all, really, is it? And Perry's out for 1 to 2 days, so that should be okay. Facundo Vieira didn't really gain much whilst being tutored by Chummer. Has it changed much? His determination has gone up from like 6 to 8, which is alright, but his personality hasn't changed, which is a bit annoying. So, he's currently injured. I mean, he is always injured. If we look at his history injuries, he joined the club in 2023, summer 2023. So literally right at the start here, tight hamstring. He's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's had 6 injuries so far, and he's only been here half a year. Now, Palace still want 20 million for this goalkeeper. I am happy to go maybe to 17 million, make that offer, but I don't want to go to their full asking price of plus 20 million. Oh yeah, stat-wise as well. Hammer Time, top goal scorer. Brad Yeo, obviously top assists. Hammer Time currently valued at 20 million, which is nice, but he has, if we can find his contract, there it is, contract. He has got a minimum fee release clause of 60 million, which, to be fair, if someone offers me 60 million for, we'd probably be stupid to turn it down. Saying that, though, I hope no one does bid for him, because I do adore him. Another player leaving the club, James Garner, is a guy that we just signed on a free transfer, hoping that he could be something in the future, but weren't too fussed about. Came in a free and is now leaving for £300,000. So I think that is a decent bit of business. Oh, now this isn't good. Alex Gersbach was about to agree a deal to sign to Birmingham. Finally, we were going to get rid of this monstrosity. Possibly the worst player we've ever had at Lincoln. Bought for £300,000 and played awful all last season. How many yellow cards? He got 16 yellow cards and 1 red card last season. He was ridiculous. But Birmingham came in offering a full £650,000. But he said no to them. You just can't get rid of him, can you? He's like... He's like herpes. It's something that you don't want, but you can't get rid of. Again, they want 20 million. Is he worth it? This is the thing. Is he worth the 20 million? He's a lot better than what we've already got. He's young and still got some potential. Recent scout report says he's obviously very, very good. I mean, he was pretty poor last season, conceding 60 goals in 38 games. But he's been relatively solid this year. I mean, I'm just not willing to pay 20 plus million. I'll take it down to 18. See what they say. More offers for Gersbach, but they are quite minimal. Quite minimal. However, I want him out of the club, basically. I want him out, so I may as well just accept them all. Right, 3 changes for lineup for the Burnley game. We're keeping it strong because I don't want to win it. Burnley, obviously a decent side in the Championship though, so we have got the advantage here playing a Championship side. De Silva comes in at left back because Masovic is injured. Declan Rice comes in because Liam Coyle is cup tied, and then Lukasic comes back on to reclaim his first team status after injury. Right, kick-off is upon us here. We're at home today in the Burnley game in the first leg of the semi-final. Now, I'm not sure if the other semi-final is being played today. It's not. However, the other semi-final is Manchester United versus Manchester City. So I think that us drawing Burnley off the Championship is incredibly lucky for us. If we drew City or United, I don't think there'd be much chance of us reaching the final. But Burnley, I'm 90% confident that we'll reach the final. And hopefully we'll take the lead in this first few minutes as Yeo gets the ball on the edge of the area, slots it into Hammer Time, and there we go. Absolute dynamic duo, Hammer Time and Yeo, combining once again this season to score another goal, and we've gone 1-0 up in the semi-final already. Now, it's not actually been an easy run, the League Cup so far. Second round, I feel like we had someone relatively easy. I can't quite remember. It may have been Walsall or someone, or Rotherham. I think it's probably Rotherham we played, and we beat them like 4-0. Then we had Liverpool, who played, well, they actually played quite a reserve side, and it took us till extra time. In fact, it was penalties that we beat them on, so very lucky to get through there. We then played Tottenham, and I didn't think we were going to beat them, so I just sort of gave the fringe players a go. But clearly they decided that they had something to prove, and we beat them 3-1. So that was actually quite a decent result, as Burnley come out of nowhere to grab an equaliser and an away goal. I presume away goals count. I never really known these kind of things, and we'll work it out at some point, obviously. After the Tottenham game, we had it was Southampton, I think, in the quarterfinals, where we beat them on extra time after being down in the game for quite a long time. So I guess we were quite lucky there, and now we're up against Burnley. So different kettle of fish, but it looks right now that Burnley are actually getting the better of us so far. Stat-wise, it's not been brilliant, but we're starting to come forward now. Lacazette plays it to Halal. Halal plays it back to Perrier, and Perrier out towards Lacazette, combining on that right-hand side. We've given away possession, but Declan Rice is there to collect it now as Perrier comes forward. Halal through to Brad Yeo. Brad, he hits the post. I was about to say he scored a goal then, but he hadn't. He hit the post. But yeah, we're 2 shots down to 5 shots, which is a bit unusual considering Burnley are below us and playing a fairly defensive formation. Lacazette has a chance to put it in the middle, and it's onto the head of a defender, unfortunately. I thought Rochon Williams was about to get it, but Perrier on that right-hand side had a bit of space, but gets himself tackled, and we've won a free kick from it. Will there be a highlight for this free kick? Ooh, there is a highlight for this free kick. Is it going top corner? Is Yeo about to put it top bins? It's nowhere near. Well, I'm not going to lie to you, that was a very disappointing first half, actually. We're going to go aggressive, far from pleased from what I've seen from this team so far. Tactically, I know we're still on counter and stuff, but it's been working quite well for us and stuff, so we're going to go a bit more control and fluid in the second half, see if it gives us the edge. I mean, I reckon we may stick an attacking midfielder on at this rate. Nothing's happening in the second half. Declan Rice has not played well at all, and I've only gone and forgot to put an attacking midfielder on the bench. Can Chummer play there? Can he do anything in attacking midfield? Kind of. Does Hammer Time like to play there? Kind of. Should we just bring them both on as strikers? That could work a little bit better maybe. Chummer as more of a target man perhaps. I'd love to get a few more goals past them just so we're a bit more confident going to the second leg. So far today, I've not been pleased with how we've played. Rochon Williams now is about to get himself sent off. There we go. He's already been booked. Red card for Rochon Williams. Brilliant. Hammer Time, come back, and Trimmer is going to start up front on his own now as an advanced forward, and we're going to have to bring on Garcia instead because we can't have a gap in defence there, unfortunately. So down to 10 men. Suddenly a draw actually is quite appealing to me. Burnley coming forward down this right hand side though. They've hit the crossbar. Reynolds makes a fantastic save there from their shot. We could have easily gone 2-1 down there, but fortunately the crossbar and then Reynolds come to our aid. Reynolds, considering he's so young and not quite Premier League quality yet, he's actually been pretty solid for us this season. I'm impressed with what he's done. Corner now for Burnley. They've played a bit of a clever one from the training ground. De Silva gets himself in the way of it though, and the pressure's still on though as they come. Oh, they've just put it wide the post there. They are getting chance after chance and we're not doing anything about it. We've got a final chance now in these final few seconds as Chummer puts it wide. We've just not been good enough today. We have not been good enough. Suddenly, I don't know what's changed really. We've been brilliant recently, and then today we've had a bit of an off day, which is unfortunate for us, especially if we're so desperate to reach a cup final. But I mean, luckily, it's only the first leg. Aggressively and far from pleased. Everyone seems motivated by that, but it does make it a lot harder to go away from home to Burnley and try and win the second leg. Now, Sean Williams with 2 matches banned. Not quite sure why there's 2, but we'll issue a warning to him either way. He accepts the warning, but Yeo does impress in that game apparently. So even when we play poorly, Brad Yeo is still getting 8.5 ratings. Right, next time out then, it's got to be Burnley and Bournemouth, really, hasn't it? It's got to be Burnley and Bournemouth. If you enjoyed today's episode, then make sure you drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and I will see you next time for some more Lincoln Loco action.